Go.
2 of the 5 senses you have are witnessing and listening to the sounds, the visions. Downtown Seattle, underneath the big building. Groove Surfer Studios, underneath the freeways, every freeway. Coffee with Stripes.
Thank you for joining us here on Coffee with Stripes. I'm here with my good personal friend, Patrick Davidson. Thank you for joining us, Patrick.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Patrick had an awesome idea for a TV show, and I kept telling him to hold it until now. Go ahead. Tell us your idea for your TV show. It's like Quantum Leap.
Oh, that's what you meant by hold it?
Yeah.
Because, just kidding. Okay, so the whole thing is about this one guy. He's an immortal, and
I've seen that show.
well, it's kind of loosely, not based, but takes from Highlander. For those who like Highlander, you won't be having to explain a whole lot. You'll go,
Nobody
"Oh."
likes Highlander. You either hate Highlander or you are a fucking Highlander fanatic.
Right. But it's just an immortal, and that's all we're going to take from that.
Okay.
That's it. And so if you know the rules of the immortal situation,
Chop
then,
off their head. It can be only one, the quickening, etc.
right, or freeze them in gold.
Oh, the old freeze 'em in gold. Like Himurogema from Ninja Scroll.
So the thing is it like this guy's walking through the desert. He doesn't know he's immortal yet. He's on his first life, and he's just cruising through, and he comes through an oasis. And we'll call him Jacob Clay, because that's my favorite fake name.
Ooh, that's a good fake name.
So he comes across this oasis, and on the shores of the lake in this oasis is this old guy, and you could tell he just recently died.
Okay.
But in his hands, as he's like cleaning through the situation, is this little piece of metal with a chain on it. It says Jacob Clay on there. So of course Jacob's like, okay, this is creepy, right?
Is that the scene that's going to be in the opening credits every single time?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was Scott Bakula and the weird noise, and like that. So the thing is that he is the oasis keeper. Okay, for the first 10 years of his life, he keeps this oasis. And so the whole thing is like every episode of a TV show or every chapter of a book, it'd be somebody coming in for a while and staying at the oasis, because everybody at the oasis is in a transitional point. And it kind of lets them stop and take a breath before doing whatever it is they got to go do, right? And it's
It's like a Quantum Leap Highlander fantasy island.
right. Exactly.
Fucking
And so
A.
it totally sells, right? So you have your return characters,
Okay.
and it's like the Love Boat kind of thing going on with that too, right? You've got your return characters, but every
Would the Harlem Globetrotters and Don Knotts make appearances?
well, no,
Oh,
well, maybe.
okay.
So the thing is that you look at everything from his perspective as a spectator in life, not a participant, because everybody else has got fates. And Jacob doesn't have a fate, so he sees, because he's just in this oasis.
He just
right?
persists.
And
Does he get in wacky situations where he gets like shot and stabbed and run over and just kind of
like every once in a while, like he's kind of clumsy and he kills himself a lot, and then comes back.
He
And he's
just gets hit by a bus and just smushed and just rolls back to the oasis.
yeah. So that's the kind of cool thing about it is that whole interplay of people coming and going. It's like people watching. Every episode would be a new character. Some characters come and go. Some characters never come back.
What if Jacob has little cameras installed in all the rooms?
Well, that might be the HBO version.
Hey.
But yeah, that was basically it. And then after 10
I call
years,
it Little Jacob.
And after 10 years, he like finds some sort of piece of little metal, that's like broken off of another piece of metal, and it's just got this weird name on it. He doesn't think anything of it. But then that guy shows up, but he's like, "Oh, I'm an oasis keeper. This is like my 5th oasis, and I was drawn this way for a reason. And now you and I both know that it's time for you to go find your next oasis."
Ooh, wow. Okay. And then he's got to go. What if it took place in different like periods of time also?
Yeah. That's the whole thing is so
like every episode starts and you don't know like what period of time it's gonna be, and then like a dude rides up on a horse and is like, "Which way to the Crusades?" And then the episode starts.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's just like on Oasis
It's called Oasis Keeper.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down with that. I like this.
Well, sometimes like the people he really, really hates are the ones that like they have to stay longer. Because
they're the ones he has to take the most care of.
Yeah, they're not ready yet. He knows, if you leave now, you're dead.
You're dead.
And other people, he really, really likes them. He's like, damn, I wish you could hang out, but I know you got to go.
You got to go. You got your destiny. It's your fate.
Yeah, and it's like it really sucks sometimes. And then,
oh,
and sometimes he's got to actually kick people out. He's like, dude,
you got to leave the Oasis. I'm the keeper, and I'm keeping you out.
Yeah, well, it's like I don't know what your fate or destiny is. It's just you really suck. You stink all the time. You just in
Jacob
general.
Clay is a freaking immortal elitist.
Yeah.
All right.
You're really not worth the water in the Oasis to be hanging out.
Ooh, that's some Fremen logic right there. Just cutting you right out of the moisture supply.
Yeah. Here's a rag that's been soaked. Now beat it. Yeah.
So, did you see any of that messed up ash storm shit today?
It was really weird because I pulled up to my first stop this morning and the headlights are on.
We're bread delivery guys and we work in the middle of the night.
We wake up before you do.
Before you do, we have man jobs.
Yeah. So I show up at 3 whatever in the morning at this place and it looks like snow in front of the van and I'm like, huh. At first I thought like there was something wrong with the van, and then at the next stop I thought, well, no, that's. It took me a while to figure it out.
It's like little snows of ash.
Well, I just couldn't believe it because you and I had seen the moon last night.
Oh, it was red.
And so in my head I was like, Patrick, that's just ash. And I'm like, no, fuck that. That's like Armageddon and shit. No, I'm not buying that's ash.
It actually was ash. It was a buttload of ash. It fills the sky, and the sun looks like the Eye of Mordor. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's for real right there. That has not been photo fucked at all.
That's just right over the Tacoma Bay right there was that picture taken. But, I saw some pretty weird stuff. I saw like this giant flock of birds flying at about 6 a.m. from east to west, which is contrary to the sun-chasing behavior of most birds. And I was like, oh, that looks like a lot of birds. And then I noticed it was all the birds. It was, it was pigeons, herons. It was all kinds of birds. It was all the birds were like, oh shit, and they were all just flying for it. And so then I got to the Dukes at South Center Mall. Yum, Dukes for chowder. I got down to that Dukes, and every bird on God's green earth was hanging out on the top of. You saw that little video. Right. It was every bird's everywhere, right? I went in, I gave the dude his bread, and I come back out, and all the birds were gone. And then I looked up on top of the thing, on top of the mall, and sitting up there about 250 feet up, just perched, was this massive peregrine falcon.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. He's sitting up there. He was big, dude. So from my vantage point, he was like this tall for our viewers at home, about the size of the tip of my...
This big in real life.
No, it's more like... He was a big boy, dude. He was a big old bird, and it was crazy because everything split. Everything left.
Like, no shit.
And I saw these weird, green birds that were probably not from Washington, or at least from this part of Washington. They were all hiding under a minivan and looking thoroughly just depressed. And, I was like, wow, there's a giant fire, and it's burning all the shit down.
It's going to have a cause and effect of some sort, and we will probably feel it, but we won't probably be able to add it up. Like all these birds inundating the area. From the forest.
I saw an extremely exotic, large lily white moth, and I don't know if anybody knows moths, but that moth ain't from around here, and it was a whopper. He was a big ass moth, and he was just flying in the middle of the street in the middle of the night, and I was like, oh, that's weird.
He just eats a whole shirt in one bite.
Humans, we pretty much have to see the smoke and the fire, and then we'll go, I think there's a fire over there. Whereas animals, they're just kind of like, it's going out. Nope, survive, and they get on out of there.
We don't have a fire department in Llama Land. We're out.
Yeah, we're used to this. They just leave.
Well, there's going to be a lot of bird shit in the area. Hopefully they stay in certain areas of Seattle. That would be really nice to see people get covered.
I
in
think
bird
they're
shit.
still. I think they're still going. I think they're going to keep going until the sun registers normally in their little bird.
Well, they're going to have a new habitat.
Well, then they just fly back to where they're from.
It's gone.
Well, it's always gone.
I think we're going to. I think what we're seeing is the bird
High
gentrification of Seattle. I think you're going to see. This is where gentrification in Seattle is at its most foul.
Well, oh God, I have been noticing that crows have been taking over the bird scene for about the last 5 years. Crows are like, we're smart.
Yeah, we're smarter than you.
I know everybody has seen a bald eagle or some type of bird of prey being harassed by a haranguing gang of crows and corvids. I know everyone has seen that phenomenon.
Well, that's where the Crips got their name.
Oh, man.
Yeah, just like 6 of them on the biggest prison. It doesn't matter. They just harass them and beat
Yeah,
them.
they just harass them because they're smarter than the eagle. The eagle's fast and strong and deadly, but that's all he knows. He's like, I'm fast and I'm strong and I'm deadly and I can see everything and everybody's scared of me. And then if a bird comes, he doesn't want to eat the crow. The eagle's actually like, ew, yeah, crows, you eat garbage.
Yeah.
And the crows are like, yeah, we're gonna get our boogers on you, and they start flying around the eagle, and he's like, oh no, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, I didn't wash my paws after that last. I'm sorry, I didn't wash my talons after I was eating that dead squirrel out of the trash can, and the eagle's like, oh god damn it, and he's trying to get away, and they just keep chasing him.
Yeah, they got cooties.
They got cooties. They're just chasing the eagle. They're just like, I think I shit myself the whole time. They're like just chasing the eagle.
I
And
used to
he's
see them beat up on seagulls all the time in Chinatown. They used to beat up on the seagulls there. The seagulls are pretty big there in Chinatown because there's a lot of shit in Chinatown to eat.
A seagull is also a dumbass bird.
It's
just
a dumb bird.
Yeah.
And so you get like 4 of these crows and 1 seagull. He doesn't stand a chance. The 4 crows are just gonna outsmart him. One will come up from behind him and just like peck him in the ass.
Take his wallet.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's not fair. And even in the air, like you would think that in the air with the wingspan and all like that, no.
What kind of like, I don't know, Prohibition era accent do you think crows would have if they had a human accent?
I think that those 2 that they used to sit on the cornfield all the time. Who was that?
Amos and Andy?
No. What? Heckle and Jekyll.
Oh,
Dude, Heckle and Jekyll. I mean, they got nailed down perfectly by those 2.
okay.
I don't know if that's a Hanna-Barbera production, but I think it is. Heckle and Jekyll.
Heckle and Jekyll. Is it a
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera production? I think that's Disney.
Nah.
Nah?
Heckle and Jekyll. Heckle and Jekyll.
You know, Mike,
were dicks,
Mike,
man.
you got
They were
some
mean.
you got some internet on that? We need Heckle and Jekyll confirmation.
You know they might be pre-Hanna-Barbera.
Here
now I
at
think
Coffee
about
with
it.
Stripes 2.0, we are not messing around. We want to get the truest facts off of the first thing the internet tells us without checking anything else.
They might be a little too old for Hanna-Barbera, but it would sit right in that pocket there before Hanna-Barbera and after, you know, when Looney Tunes was big time. Terry
Oh my
Tunes.
God, it is Terry Tunes.
Wow.
Which is kind of in line with the Tom and Jerry production house. Am I?
No, that would have been Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner
Oh,
Brothers.
Yeah. Wait. You know what? I think we got all our facts wrong, but it's immaterial.
Well, actually, there's two that I remember as a kid, different Tom and Jerry's. You had the softer, rounder one, and then you had the real sharp one, right? And they were brutal. Like, they'd have scissors involved, and you know, it was really, really, really mean-spirited.
You know what? Tom and Jerry did go through their ages. You got you have your first era, you know.
Man, everything after 1980 don't mean shit.
No, that's all garbage.
It's
As soon as they're friends, it's bullshit.
Yeah, no.
Turn that off.
Uh-huh.
They're not
Don't do
supposed
that
to
to your
get along,
children.
dude.
Don't lie to your children like that.
Yeah.
Cats and mice do not
Oh,
get
the
along.
cats and the mice are going to get along and finally find the value of... No, they're not, dude. They're going to murder each other on sight until the end of time. It is in their nature.
They're both going to learn how to speak dog, and everything will be happy in the household. It will be nice. You'll see.
And then later, they'll have, like, hybrid children of them.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's not, no.
Yep, there it is, dude. Heckle and Jekyll.
Oh, boy, they see, that's it. My boys right there.
Terry Tunes.
Yeah, those guys were mean. They were like, they would just like call guys out and just be like all mean at them and stuff.
They would just heckle.
Heckle and Jekyll. Yeah, I don't think anyone ever got the. I think everyone stopped trying.
That's my job, man.
To personify crows after that. They were like, oh yeah, I can't do that better. Mike Tyson would make a great fucking crow though.
Crows are pretty. Mike Tyson's just like, hey. I sure wouldn't mind if you drop some food on the ground. Oh, you're not going to? Well, I'm going to go for your trash.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, he might be a little. He would be more aggressive than most crows.
I'm a little more aggressive than most crows.
Yeah, he's
All right, I'll stop. It's such a low blow and it's such an easy hit. It's just a wheel below the belt.
Well, basically, I'm going to land on your nose and I'm going to pick your fucking eyeballs out. That would be like, oh shit, Mike Tyson the Crow. I wouldn't go outside.
You gonna talk smack to a bird that Odin plucked his eyeball out to receive the knowledge of, huh? Yeah, not very wise.
Yes. Mike Tyson the Crow's outside. I'm staying the fuck inside.
I don't know how strong your grasp on Norse mythology is, but mine's pretty strong. Thor's hammer is called Mjolnir.
Right, it is true that he's got kind of a New York Jewish accent, right?
It's getting there, man. You know what would be funny as hell would be Curb Your Enthusiasm starring Mike Tyson.
Yeah, you would. It's hard to believe that Larry David never actually thought of that.
Well, Larry David's smart, so he probably never wanted to be in the same room as Mike Tyson.
It's like I said to you before that I think they blew it with Mike Tyson. With the whole Cosmos should have been done by Tyson.
Oh my God,
dude! Wow. It would have been great. It would have been like Beetlejuice is basically 365,000 light years away, which means you would have to travel at the speed of sound, which is impossible, basically. But you could do it. It would take you 300,000 fucking years to get there.
Scientists have theorized theoretical convergences.
You're nothing but fucking space dust. You would have children all over the planet like, Mom, Dad, Mike Tyson's the smartest man in the world.
So this comet just flies through your solar system and just deposits its freaking seed all over and just starts a diaspora of life.
Yeah,
Best
Neil deGrasse Tyson is cool,
ever.
but Mike Tyson would have been way better. And they would have gotten way more people to watch it. And check this out, they would have hit the demographic they were looking for anyway.
You know what? You really can't miss.
I mean, who watches Neil deGrasse Tyson that doesn't already know this shit?
You know what? You're right. Neil deGrasse Tyson is just like the guy he's like, come along, guys. It's safe to be science.
Yeah.
Because we're entering like this special ass American Dark Ages where we've got, what do we got, man? We got the frickin' vaccine deniers. Hey, vaccine deniers, go back to the 50s, dude, and come back with one leg shorter than the other. You can choke it, dude. Seriously. Who else is dumb? Shaq and the Flat Earthers. Yeah, dude, Shaq. I'm calling you out, dude. Come on my show, Shaq.
Shaq's flat earther.
Shaq's a fucking flat earther, dude.
I don't know about that.
Motherfucker's tall enough to see the curvature, all right? Dude, seriously.
Are you sure that's not a band, Shaq and the Flat Earthers?
It is now. Within these halls of the Groove Surface Studios, all appropriate band names.
You know, the thing is I don't know if it's true, but he supposedly, when he was in the Olympics and they were in Greece, I don't know for sure. I'm just saying this is a funny thing that I heard. Is that someone said, "Hey, what'd you think of the Parthenon?" And he said, "Man, I don't remember all the clubs." Now, if he said that as a joke, he's genius funny, man. You know. If he said that because he meant that, then it's kind of like
my understanding is that Shaquille O'Neal, who is a decorated NBA guy who basically can't make a free throw. Shaq, dude, you're throwing a brick on this one too, homie. The Earth is not flat. It's not flat. Now, where are the majority of these flat earthers? You know what? I heard that the Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, that's what they. That's
the
what
globe.
Around the globe,
Yeah, not across the world.
not across the flat ass map of 2-dimensional Earth. All right, and so those people. This isn't America. This isn't in some fucking country where a plane crashes and they worship it. All right, this is in America. This is in the country where the education system is run by Nancy DeVos. I mean, how do we get this low?
Come on, man. DeVos wasn't the problem. I mean, she's
or whatever.
symptom.
Betsy, Nancy. I can't see. I'm already retarded. I take that back.
Oh, man. You know, the thing is, it's kind of strange. Is that, like, I've been having this big tear up inside about this whole when and when not to get involved with when a town's fucking up, okay? Now, the thing is it, like, we live in Seattle where you have a place where you have...
Oh, Seattle's fucked. Seattle,
Lenin,
you're fucked. Sorry.
You have
Sorry,
a statue of Lenin, and you have a Confederate memorial.
They're going to tear that down, and they're make condos for Amazon guys.
Yeah. But the thing is, I wouldn't want anybody from, like, Oregon or some schmuck from Montana to be like, I don't like your Lenin statue. You need to tear it down. I'd be like, nah, I'm going to kick your ass just for stepping up.
No, don't step. Don't step to our Lenin statue.
At the same time, in that regard, I would have to respect Charlottesville's feelings on those statues. Now, it just happens to be that Charlottesville is an easy pick because they're
you
like
bringing up the Confederate War Memorial shit? Because I will shred that shit open like a bag of chips.
Here's the thing: it's not that easy.
Okay. Okay. What do you mean? We're busy.
Yeah. What I mean is that I don't want anyone coming into Seattle and telling me that, and I don't think it's right for me to go into any town and say you can't have this statue. I think if the people of that town say, "Look, this is a statue, and this is what if you don't like it, don't bring your custom. Just beat it. We don't want you here." You know, we believe that everybody came from green men or whatever the hell anyone believes in their place, right? But here's the thing, and this is where it gets fucking tricky. Is that as a whole, you become a total. You're one thing. You're Americans. And when you let a certain group of Americans who are part of you get that far off track, at some point you have to take responsibility for allowing that to happen. So in one regard, you want to be able to have people teach their own history locally, but at the same time, you don't want them to be teaching them things like,
like pride in segregation.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to name anything specific. Like, okay, the world's a hexagon. Well, you don't want people believing that because they can't do business later on when someone's the world's a hexagon. It's like, well, I can't do business with you because you're fucking stupid.
Yeah,
right?
that's the thing is like, why? I understand freedom of speech. I understand the legality of things. And I don't see why it's legal for people to think that the world is flat. Like, I think like a nun should come with a ruler and basically just corporal punishment you. We will Clockwork Orange the correct freaking scientific facts into your brain. But that's why I don't run the Department of Education.
You see those percentages all the time about Americans, though, and I don't think they're any different than they are around the world. I think if you have 10 doctors in the room, I don't care what the demographic is, you have 10 people with doctorates in the room, 3 out of 10 of them are fucking stupid. They're dumb as dirt.
Oh, man, some of the dumbest people I know have, like, doctorates and degrees and theses. I mean, there's lots of people that graduated from places like the Harvard Business School who I personally think are some of the biggest jackasses in the world.
Well, Harvard doesn't impress me. We got Bush and Trump, and they give us both what 8th grade education you can get out of Harvard and pass. I mean, that's an 8th grade education that we saw from both of these guys. 8th grade. This is what you're showing me. And you came from Harvard. Have it. Now, if this is the biggest dick we have in the room, we need to leave porn.
I think that was an excellent analogy.
We can't be talking about how much we know if we got that going on.
We're so smart. And it's like, well, didn't you guys build like a big Noah's Ark amusement park where it says that Jesus walked with dinosaurs? Like, isn't that a thing that happened in your country? Wasn't that subsidized by taxes? It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting, man, because, I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody. I've already offended everybody. But if you are offended, I'd love to talk to you about it offline.
Maybe you need to be offended, as Mike Muir would say.
Maybe you need to be offended, man, because I already told my kids that Santa Claus doesn't exist. And you know how I told them is they said, well, Dad, is Santa real? And I looked at them and I was like, what do you guys think?
Uh-oh.
And they were like, well, I was like, really think about it. What do you think happens? And they're like, well, and I'm like, really think about it. And it pained me to watch them wrestle with the notion that, you know, they draw the logical assumption, and I'd just rather them just cut to the chase and realize that I am the provider of all things. It makes it easier.
Yeah.
Went to Wharton.
What?
Wharton School, Pennsylvania. Trump went to Wharton.
Trump went to
Wharton.
Wharton.
Oh, okay.
Not
Well,
Harvard?
let me say Ivy League then. I'll just go ahead and put the whole basket in one shot then. The silly thing is that you can't relate to me, Ivy League. And the thing is, it's not your job to relate to y'all. Sorry, your job is to relate to me specifically as an American who doesn't have a degree, because 70% of us don't. And yeah, I want you to be able to relate to me somehow, and you can't, because you can't, in my book, mean that you're an American until you can say straight up, yeah, I've sweated rent. I've sweated that shit. If you can't say that, in my life, I've never. Trump couldn't start a lawnmower. The guy's never sweated rent. I don't think that you can, you know, and that's just picking on the low fruit with Trump.
I'm
But,
going to
I mean,
say
these
the most
guys in
insulting
general.
thing about our current president that I possibly can, but it is a God's honest fact. Donald Trump eats his steaks well done with ketchup like a goddamn infant.
You can't be shitting me, right? I mean,
That is
No, he is terrible
he
taste.
he has admitted to this. That is how he orders his steak.
He'd rather have McDonald's.
He would rather have McDonald's. I know, man. It just keeps getting worse. At this point, someday somebody's going to be like, Donald Trump likes to butt fuck kittens. And I'd be like, yeah, sorry, Mom. But I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be like, oh, yeah, of course he does. Like, why not? Yeah.
You know, the thing is there's a lot of people from Texas and Arizona that, never mind the whole, you know, vagina grabbing, casino owning, stripper places, you know, whatever, you know, land development, screw people
Because
out of
the
their houses.
televangelist told him to like Trump?
Would think more than anything probably that, you know, misusing a steak like that is probably maybe one of the top 10 most offensive things you could do, man. I mean,
Well, you know, man, something I have noticed about those who tend to be apologists for our 45th president is that things that offend me very personally, like the misuse of beef. A cow died for that steak, dude, and you're just gonna.
if you got it from grocery outlet, you know, yeah, consider cooking it all the way through like that. I mean, you know, sure. But if you got good meat, and no one's throwing grocery outlet at Trump.
No.
Where do you think that steak came from?
Trump had Trump steaks, dude.
Yeah,
I actually had a Trump steak once, and it was not bad. It's not bad.
They walked that cow in front of them and in the White House, and they cut it open in front of him and cut the steak out of it while the cow was watching them do it.
And then they take that freaking 2.5-inch thick prime tenderloin that costs $74 a pound, and they cook it to full doneness and cover it with Heinz tomato paste.
It's a good thing that the cow dies before he sees that.
Yeah, because if the cow would see himself being eaten that way, he'd die again.
Trump would come back in his next life in India for that shit.
Yep.
There's no eating cow there, man. No, cows kind of hold a whole nother world for you there, bro.
Yep.
This is for mistreating me, you motherfucker, like that. Yeah.
I'm sorry we had to bring up Donald Trump, but, you know, it looked like the end of the world today, so it seemed appropriate.
Yeah, there was kind of a weird nuclear thing.
But it was like in a lame, like Seattle half-assy kind of way. You know what I've noticed is Seattle people can't do shit in shit. And what do I mean? Well, Seattle people can't drive in the snow.
Yeah.
They can't drive in the rain. They can't drive in the fires. They can't drive at night. When it's too nice out, they're like, look at the weather. I'm like, haven't I lived here long enough to become one of these jackasses? Am I one of these jackasses and I don't know it?
It's where Coke meets Pepsi, Seattle. It's where coffee meets tea. It's a strange place, man.
Well, that's a half hour. Want to wrap her up?
Okay.
Thank Patrick.
we're gonna wrap it up. And I'd like to thank Patrick Davidson again for joining us here on Coffee with Stripes. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Hey, we'll see you guys again here soon. We got some new tracks coming on the old Techno Gauntlet. It's okay.